everybody, I wish you all a happy learning. I am with my second video. Miss Nityashree, my former student and an ex-colleague, suggested this topic for the presentation. In the meantime, all UG students of healthcare industry out there, I present this to you with lots of love. So here I go with the topic genogram. Most of the healthcare professionals use this concept while writing care plans and case studies. Genogram is not a new concept, and we need to recollect the symbol as we schematically place this on the notebook. So why delay? Let's have a glance at this. If you see, the word geno comes from an Italian origin. Geno means Eugene. What is genogram? What layperson calls it? An ordinary person call it a family tree. But I would say it is a step ahead of family tree because it is a schematic representation with lots of symbols involved in it. It speaks on relationship, morbidity, mortality, family size, so on, many more entities. Let's have a glance at the purposes. It helps to understand the genetic background. It informs you of the hierarchical trend. It allows you to know the medical history, morbidity, mortality, gives information on eligible couple, dependent population, independent population, gender, head of the family, family size, so on and so forth. So there are huge purposes beyond this genogram. Who could use a genogram? It can be used by the social worker, researcher, individual in educational field, genetic therapist, family therapist, counselor, healthcare professionals. That means a list is a huge one that shows all of us could use it. To have a comprehensive touch at the genogram, we must include minimum 3 generations. That means grandparents, their children, and their grandchildren. Every concept is the invention of someone, and they deserve the credit. An American psychologist formulated the idea. He addressed this concept by delivering family therapy in the year 1970. So all due respect to the founder of Genogram, Dr. Murray Bohn. A schematic representation was developed later by McGoldrick and Randy Jerson. Now with more and more symbols, genogram is available in the Google as well as in many textbooks. I have taken some of the symbols from genogram and some from public health textbook written by Stanhope. Let's see some of the guidelines. Draw minimum 3 generation genogram. First generation, while denoting a couple, place the female on the right hand side. Youngest child to be placed also on the right hand side. Birth year on the right hand side of the respective symbol, and the left hand side if you're denoting the death if takes place in the family. Use the standard abbreviations only. In case of death, indicate the cause of death and year of death. That is important to write so that everybody will know what is the cause of a mortality. You can use the 3 parallel lines while denoting the head of the family. Marriage year, you can write on the marriage line. Place a perforated lines that indicates who are staying currently under one roof and sharing a common kitchen. This is very important. Now let's have a glance at the symbols. At my right hand side, you can see a circle. The circle indicates a female. A square denotes a male. Now let's see some more symbols. There are B and C diagrams. So look at the first at the C diagram. You can see here the circle and the square. It is joined together with a line, is it not? And this is a straight line without any perforation, which you can see in the symbol C. That shows this is a married couple. And the B, you can see the perforated line. That means here the couple is not married but they are engaged. Now look at the symbol D. On the marriage line, there is a parallel line. This denotes the separation. Similarly, in the E symbol, you can see a parallel line on the engagement. That indicates engagement is called off. Let's see 2 more signs, that is F and G. F indicates 2 parallel lines on the marriage line. That means it is divorce. Separation means 1 line and 2 lines indicates divorce. And the G, you can see on the engagement line, there is a small house like that shows a living relationship. So these are the two symbols you can see in this paper. Now I want you to look at the H symbol. In the H symbol, you can see a couple married and they are having two children. The youngest one is a female and the elder one is a male. But inside the female, that is a circle, you can see one more circle that indicates beneficiary. In the community, when you're imparting the care, sometimes you may not have a time. So you may be concentrating at one person and that person will become a beneficiary. In the hospital setup, you're calling that person as an index person. Moving on to the I, you can see here also two symbols. From the marriage line, you can see the two kids. That is the youngest one is a female and the elder one is a male. But these vertical lines are perforated ones. That shows that it is not direct kids, the either adopted or the foster child. So inside the circle, you can write you can see written A, that means it is a adopted child female and the male is a foster child. So these are the two different symbols you can see in this PPT. Now I want you to look at these signs carefully, J and K. If you see here from the couple, the line which is arising is not a vertical line, it's a V line, and you can see two circles. That means and within the circles that there is a connection. So this shows that twins, identical twins, because there is again connections between these two children. The similar thing you can see with the slight change in the K. V sign is there, but there is no connection between two children. So this is known as a non-identical twins. So J and K speaks about twins. Shall we move on to two more symbols, L and M? L, you can see a vertical line and there is a dot. M, you can see a vertical line and there is an into mark. So L indicates abortion. So what type of abortion this is a spontaneous one. And into mark shows induced abortion. So both the mark shows abortion, but with the symbol you can know which is a spontaneous and which is a induced abortion. I hope it is clear. Okay, now I want you to look at the peach diagram, the square with the peach color, and here in the middle you can see the into mark. So this into mark indicates death. So here you can see death of a male partner. Now all your eyes be on this diagram. You can see right hand side there is a triangular. This indicates pregnancy. Pregnancy is indicated with the triangular mark. And next to that you can see a small vertical line, then there is a square and into mark inside the square. This shows stillbirth. Okay, I hope these two symbols are clear. The first one is pregnancy, next to that you can see a stillbirth. Now you have to tell me what this perforated line indicates. There is a huge perforated line, so within that there are some symbols inside that. So this shows that these are the people who are living together under the roof. And those are outside the perforated lines. It shows that they are married and gone or living somewhere outside. And that's it. Now this is a repetition which I had already told you in the guidelines. Okay, birth year you are writing on the right hand side. So what you can say 1958, 1948 are the birth years of different individuals here, and 2020 which is there on the left hand side, that indicates the death year of this male partner. And the cause of a death also can be written. So I have written HT here. That shows that this male partner died because of a hypertension complications. On the marriage line, I have written 1975. That indicates the marriage year. Then within the symbols, I have written age. That is 29, 38 and 45. Youngest kid always you have to write on the right hand side and the eldest one on the left hand side. That is what it is written here, 29, 38 and 45. That's it. Now we are at the last part of learning. So there is an assignment for you all. So as I'm reading out the assignment, you can take a click. So this is about the family history. So you can draw a genogram and see who will bank the assignment with full score. Discuss first with your peer group and then you can go to your teacher and see who clears with this assignment with the high score. So here it goes. I'll read out the history. As I'm reading out the history, you can click the photograph. Mr. John, 82 years old widower, lost his wife, Mrs. Benny, in 2020 when she was 77 years old. He lives with his daughter Zena, 60 years old, and son-in-law Mr. Noel, who is 64 years old, and he also has a grandson. Grandson Mr. Sam is 35 years, separated from his wife a year ago and had 9 years of married life, and his two daughters, 8 and 4 years old, are staying with the mother Seema in Gulf. She is 30 years of age. Now, the second part of this assignment, second part of a family history. Mr. John's first child, Mr. Prem, is 64 years of age, married to Miss Monica, 55 years, having three daughters of age 34, 33, and 30. All of them are married and living in the UK with their family. Clear? Take a click. Now we'll move on to the third PPT. Mr. John's second son, Mr. Nikhil, is 62 years of age, stays with his unmarried son Lawrence, 30. Mr. Nikhil divorced Mrs. Susan when his son was 5 and Mr. Nikhil also diagnosed of having diabetes at the age of 38. He constantly expresses that he has inherited this from his mother, who died due to diabetic and hypertension complications. So, draw a genogram, discuss the findings with your peer team. So, good luck to you. So, as I am ending up today's video session, I'll thank sincerely the Stanhope textbook, because I've taken the most of the symbols from there, and I have taken some diagrams and symbols from the Google also. So thank for both the sources. At the same time, I will come back soon with my third video. I wish you all good. Have a great learning. Thank you.